Let me catch my breath. Hi guys, welcome back to the show. We're on episode 41. Y'all don't know, there's going to be an episode, probably when I start doing video episodes, which is soon, that I am going to leave in how many times it takes me to do the opening, like, hi guys. It is probably the most cringy thing about doing this episode. About doing this podcast. It's just I do it like 7 times. I'm like, hey guys, hey friends, what's up y'all? Hey y'all, like, it's so, it's so ugly. Anyway, every time I push record to record one of these episodes, I'm always like, there's going to be at least one episode where, like, there's no problem and you just press record and you're like, hi guys, welcome back to this podcast. I'm this person and this is what we have planned today, and it never ever goes that way, and that's fine. Oh my god, quick story. So before I jump right into the greeting and stuff, one time I tried to like set up like a really amateur setup for a podcast, right? Just to see how I would position myself if I was just gonna like start recording out of the blue. So I have this ring light that I keep in my shed, and I brought it out. I was really like about to do it. So I brought it out. I had the ring light behind me, which I think was a mistake. Anyway, so I'm like ruffling my shirt, getting my shit together. As soon as I hit record, I go to step back. I step on the tripod thing that's holding up the light, and the shit falls on my head. I was like, this is why. I didn't even have an answer. I was like, this is just why. This is just why. But anyways, hi guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the most chemically imbalanced podcast you'll ever come across. How are you guys doing today? It's a hot little Saturday here in Florida. You know, I just got back from doing some traveling, which I'll talk about later. I'm like, can you hear my like I can't even talk. That's how excited I am. I was gonna say, can you hear my feet kicking in the background? But you know. So before we jump into the episode, guys, I don't know how long it's going to be. I feel like I have to stop saying that to y'all because, like, one episode I'll be like, yeah, it's going to be really short. It's like 45 minutes. And then I say, oh my God, it's going to be super long. It's like 28 minutes. So I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to, like, stop saying how long I think the episode is going to be because it never matches up. I lie to you guys way too often. I'm sorry. But before I jump into it, I just want to tell you guys something that I've been thinking about. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, who can I share this with? Obviously, you guys, right? So I've been thinking about the podcast studio and what I want it to look like, because I have such a hard time telling people, like, that I want, like, these calm, like, pastel colors, but I also want, like, this green, like, earthy type situation going on. And I think I figured it out. Like, I want, and this is all decor, by the way, like, I want something that's, like, Studio Ghibli that meets like dark mythical forest. And then with that aesthetic, I want to like put little figurines and like rugs and lamps of like, you know, just like little tidbits of my personality all in there. So that is what I'm hoping it's gonna look like. So yeah, I just had to get that out because there was literally nobody else I could tell that to that would be as excited or could like picture it as vividly as I could, like y'all. So that's why I told y'all. But okay, so there's so much that I want to tell y'all, but also so much that I just cannot. But before I get into all that, so y'all know I just got back from doing some traveling. And while I was debating if I was going to tell you guys about that or not, it made me think about the last time I did traveling, like the very last time, and what happened to me. And it made me laugh so hard. So now I'm going to tell you about it. So about a month ago, I was flying back into Florida from, I don't know where the fuck I was. And I like walked down to the baggage claim area to like sit and wait for my ride. And y'all know how like the baggage claim area has those little like 4-seater benches that you can sit on, or like just chairs that you can sit on and shit. So I go sit on them because I don't have a bag to like get from the carousel. So I just sit down waiting for my ride. I know it's going to take a while. So the way I'm sitting, I'm like, so there's no back on these benches. There's nothing you can like rest your back on. So I'm like sitting, but I'm leaning forward on my knees, looking down at my phone, like a regular position you would be in when you're sitting in a fucking chair. And so out of nowhere and very, very swiftly and unnecessarily, this man comes by and like swipes his whole dick in front of my face. And I have never pushed somebody so hard and so fast in my entire life. And I felt so violated that I was such in shock. I couldn't even say anything. Like, obviously your first, your first instinct would be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? I couldn't even say anything. I just pushed him and I was looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like so confused and irritated. Like, I promise you no words would come out. I was just staring at him. And the only thing that really helped his case is that when we made eye contact with each other, he looked mortified. Like, he was clearly in a rush. He was like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That was an accident. I'm sorry. And that nigga just kept on running. Like, he ran past me, and I guess he tried to, like, slide in between. Because it was, like, people waiting for their bag. So it was, like, a couple of people, like, standing in front of me. But their crotch wasn't directly in my fucking face. So I guess as he was running, he saw, like, a little bit of an opening between me and the person, like, standing a couple feet in front of me. And he just tried to slide past, and he ended up ruining my fucking day. And I know it was an accident, so I didn't stay mad long. Like, so I was sitting on this bench, right? And on the last seat of the bench, there was, like, this black lady. She worked at the airport. And I was, like, looking at her, my mouth open. I was like, did you just see that? She was like, girl, I wouldn't even go say nothing. And she just started laughing her ass off. I was like, I'm never coming back here again. I mean, I was laughing too, but I was like, that was just weird as fuck. And then a literal month later, I'm, like, back at that shit like I never left. Like, I know I'm not a flight attendant anymore, guys, but I could literally be a garbage man, and there will never be a time where I'm not traveling. I love traveling way too much to just stop. Like, I've slept overnights in airports. Like, I love to travel. I love it. The only thing I don't like about traveling is how fucking expensive everything is at the airport. That's like daylight robbery. There's no way a fucking small fry at an airport McDonald's should be $5. I'm gonna start getting into a whole different rant if I keep on with this. But anyway, so y'all, I want to tell y'all so bad about my trip. So I can tell y'all where I went. I went to Philadelphia and I went to LA. There was so much stuff I had planned to do in LA that just did not get done. But there's always next time. So I really want to tell y'all about my man that's not my man. That's my man, but he's not my man. And a part of me wants to tell y'all about it, and a part of me doesn't. Two parts about me want to tell y'all, but y'all know, like, as soon as you start thinking about it, nigga, and like, y'all know what I'm trying to say. As soon as you say anything good about any man ever, he just start fucking up for no reason. It's like, did you hear me? Like, what did I say? And then the other part of me is just like, this is gonna have to wait till Patreon, because I love being open and I love sharing, like, my life with y'all. I've gotten the most beautiful messages I ever could receive in my entire life just from me being so open. And there's really only two main reasons why I'm leaning more towards of waiting on Patreon to talk about that part of my life. One is because obviously before I started this podcast, I was a very private person. Like, I don't take pictures, I don't post about my life and stuff like that. So this is such a huge, like, jump for me to go from not posting on social media for anybody to see to now doing it for the whole world, obviously to see. And then the second part is the way I want to talk about these experiences. I have so much uncensored shit that I want to say, and I need to curate. This is what I need to happen. I need to curate, like, a specific and certain amount, like, supporter group to where I know I can just say anything, because I don't want to offend nobody. Not that what I would say is offensive, but I want to talk about getting dick down so much that I felt it coming out of my toenails. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want to. I need there to be a niche group of people that follow me to Patreon, so that way y'all can get the tea, y'all can get the goods. Like, I want to say names. I want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make noises. I'm trying to really give y'all the tea. But I cannot do that for big YouTube. Like, I cannot do that for, the World Wide Web. Like, what if my grandma stumbled upon my, you know what I'm saying? Not that it would scar her or anything, because you know what I'm saying? But still, I want there to be some type of, not even boundary. I just want there to be some type of, like, personal, you know what I'm saying? That if you know these stories for real and you know the names that match, some money is going in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? And call me selfish if you want to, but baby got to eat somehow. You know what I'm saying? And I just really want to get into it with y'all, but also I really, really don't. I'm conflicted. So, with all that being said, just know that I hate being like that, though. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm so conflicted because I hate a bitch that's just like, well, if you know, you know. Well, you know. I hate that, and I do not want to be that bitch. But, like, I don't know what to do. Listen, y'all, this Patreon, look, the video episode might come quicker than we think because I'm like, my tongue, like, the only person I have to tell this information to is my mom and Mango. And my mom don't want to hear this shit. And Mango, you know what I'm saying? She, like, you know what I'm saying? She the only one. So I was like, I'm burning to tell somebody else. It's gonna have to be y'all. Y'all gonna have to slide me like $4 or $5 a month. And that's not bad. I feel like the quality of these stories are really good. I feel like they're worth $4 a month. That is not even, that's like a carton of eggs. And sidebar, even if you don't want to hear the juicy, dirty, freaky, nasty stories that I want to share with you guys, when I make the Patreon, you should just subscribe and follow anyway, just in case, you know, it's little giveaways. We'll talk about it at the end of the episode. I'm just saying that when your girl pop up with a Patreon announcement, do you real solid. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about why I went traveling, but I will tell you an experience I had when I went there that was really nice. So like I said, I went to Philly, and then I also out of Philly took a flight to LA, and that was my second time being in LA. The first time I went, I stayed for about a week, and that was really fun. Oh my god, do y'all hear my congestive ass breathing? Oh my god. What I tell y'all, every other time I hit record, I'm either sick or like my life is falling apart. Anyway, this was my second time going to LA, and it was late at night. Like, I was only there for a couple hours. That's how late at night it was. It was such a spontaneous ass trip. Like, do you want to go? Yeah, let's go. But I went to this restaurant called Fixin'. I don't know if it's Fixin's with an S or Fixin' without an S. Anyway, it was downtown, California, right near LAX, literally right around the corner, maybe like a 30-minute drive. And this place was so damn black, y'all. And y'all know how I feel about us. When I walk into like any establishment, bitch, it could be a Walmart, and if there's just like heavy amounts of black people, I just feel so warm and safe inside. I don't know what it is. I mean, I do know what it is because like I feel comfortable around us, but like these people had on shirts that just said black. Don't know why they just said black. Nobody was wearing, this is how you know it was a black cast. Nobody had on the same uniform. Some people had on shirts that said Juneteenth. Some people had on shirts that had Kobe Bryant on it. Like, they were just all wearing different shit, but all of it was very, very black. When our food came out, the plates didn't match, the cutlery didn't match. I was like, oh my gosh, this is somebody's kitchen. I'm in somebody's kitchen right now. I ordered, we got chicken and waffles, fried deviled eggs, and a side of macaroni and cheese. Yes, that is a black ass meal, but when I tell you this meal hit on ways you guys could just never imagine. Best thing on that plate, hands down, was in fried deviled eggs. Now, they did have a little piece of bacon on top. I had to flick that motherfucker off. But other than that, it was delicious. I never had deviled eggs that taste like that in my life. I'm pretty sure that was the first time I've ever eaten a fried deviled egg. Like, I'm pretty sure I've had like a seafood deviled egg and shit, like a fancy deviled egg, but I never had no fried one. And that one, it shook me to my core. And then on the menu, it was like they had Kool-Aid. Now, I didn't really grow up on Kool-Aid like that. Call me what you want. We didn't really have it like that in my house. Now, when I went to my aunt's and shit house, like the family reunions, then obviously we drank hella Kool-Aid. But as a personal household item, we just didn't fuck with Kool-Aid like that. Not that we had anything against it, but we was just lemonade type of folk. But they had like Bacardi Kool-Aid, they had Hennessy Kool-Aid. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Now, I didn't get none of that. Because as the bill was coming, that's when I saw it being brought out. And I was like, oh, shit. Now, had I saw it, I can't even lie to y'all and say I wouldn't have got it because I probably would have wanted to try it. But it was if you're ever in LA or if you live in LA. Zoe, have you heard of this place? Because I know Zoe lives in LA. It was one of the things I wanted to do when I was out there. But you know what? Duty calls, booty calls. That's all I'm going to say. But have anybody that lives in LA or has been to LA heard of this restaurant? Because in my mind, it's new. I live on the whole other side of the earth. So I never heard nobody talk about it, never seen a TikTok clip of it, and it was absolutely delicious. So if you know about it, yeah, y'all did that. But all right, guys, on to the... So I have a existential crisis thing I want to talk about, which honestly, I think that's going to be like... I know I don't want this podcast to be super segmented, but I have one of those like every 3 days. So existential crisis thought is gonna have to be she might stay as one of the segments, y'all, because what? But before I get to that, I want to talk about something. So did y'all see those pictures that Zendaya posted for her birthday? First of all, eight down. She looked gorgeous. The first thing though, when I saw those pictures, I was like, oh my gosh. Zendaya's back must be so fucking fluid. Like, oh my goodness. Her morning stretch must feel amazing. I am so jealous of people with small titties. And they know that we're jealous. Anybody that has big titties, if you've ever encountered a little titty person, there's a rare occasion where they're like, oh my God, I wish I had titties. Usually women with little titties know the power they hold. You know what I'm saying? If you have little titties, you're literally unstoppable. Like, you can fold your arms properly, bitch. Like, lay on your stomach for large amounts of time. You can fucking wear a crossbody bag without it looking like you got a fucking seatbelt on. You can wear an oversized shirt, sweater, dress, anything without looking like fucking Mike Wazowski. Like, oh my gosh. You can literally wear anything. And what a wonderful life that is. Now, my titties aren't huge. They used to be. I'm not gonna lie, they used to be. But now, in my opinion, it's still a little bit more titty than I'd like to have. I used to be, what was I? Like a 32 triple D? And I was miserable as fuck. And also, I was a teenager. So I had this skinny ass torso with like fresh WNBA basketballs hanging off my chest. I literally hated every single part of it. Now, I do love titties. I love a woman, sir, please. I do love to see a woman with big titties. It's always exhilarating. It's always exciting to see. Love a good titty. But also the straight Zarya is just like, I know her back is on fucking fire right now. Like, so there's a thin line. It's like wonderful to look at. I know it's terrible to have because I've fucking been there. Like, having big titties can really, I was about to say, it'll ruin your life. And it won't ruin your life, but it'll fucking really come close to feeling like it, y'all. It will really come close to feeling like it. If you've never had a triple D or above, consider yourself not only one of God's favorites, but consider yourself like genetically lucky. Back in those triple D days, and I was a teenager, I was like 16, 17 back in those days. So that's when you're really like trying to explore with your style, explore with seeing like what you can get away with and shit. And it was all titty. It was no style, all titty. And I hated it because no matter what, and everything I wore made me look so wide. And it didn't give a, oh my God, I'm starting to stutter. It didn't give a fuck what type of bra I wore, whether it was padded, unpadded, wire, unwire. Those bitches were sitting hot and heavy, first of the class, early word catches the bird. Like, they were sitting up. And it just looked terrible to me. I hated it. Can't wear a dress because you gonna have this big ass sweat line in the middle of your titties. Like, can't wear a halter top because now you got titty meat falling into your armpit and shit. It's just like, then they starting to chafe like thigh. It's, oh my goodness. Like, oh my goodness. And I remember in high school, my book bag used to be a crossbody bag and it looked disgusting. Like, I will see pictures on Facebook of like my tagged photos and it'll be like me and an old friend in a hallway and I have this book bag on and I'm just like, why didn't anybody tell me to take it off? Why did you let me walk around like that? Like, oh my goodness, y'all. Big titties. Listen, if you have big titties, and this is the thing. This is how severe big titties are. I'm over here. I had a 32 triple D. It's women out here in 38 H's. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's people out here really writing the motherfucking alphabet. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, the triple D's were like, this is the end of my fucking life. It's people. My mom. Sorry, mom. She's got like H's and G's, and I was like, I didn't even know that they could get up to that letter. I didn't even know that letter was a possibility. Like, it's some really door knocking, heavy hitting titties out here, and I, although they are a beautiful thing, I feel so bad because you are just stunted from so much shit, and it's not cool. It's not cool. I think there should be a mandatory breast reduction at least once in your life. because some people can't control that. That is literally immobilizing some people, just having big ass titties. That is not a cosmetic surgery. That is a fucking life necessity surgery. You would think that I had H titties by the way I just went on this rant, but I'm serious, okay? Some people really out here can't be living their life the way they want to be living their life. And some people out here giving off the illusion that they have this body type that they don't really have. All they got to do is just lift their titties up. Like, y'all, it's getting serious out here. I need us to all be aware. So, little titty women stand up. Y'all are hit for hit. Y'all, L after L. I don't know. No, W after W is what I went to say. Y'all just keep on. Y'all just winning after winning after winning after winning. Okay, guys. So, one more thing, or maybe two more things. I'm going to wrap the episode up. Not planning on this being a super long episode, especially since... Okay. You can tell I'm, like, fighting my tongue to just drop T, but y'all, I can't. Also, remember the episode with Mango where I was saying, like, there's a lot of people in my life from, like, North Carolina, Virginia Beach, all the places that I've lived, that I've met and accumulated, that I just do not want to listen to this podcast. That was some real shit. Like, I'm not lying. There's people in my life, and I'm sure y'all feel like that too. Not even that, even if you're not like a content creator or put out anything like that, there's just some people in your life that you're just like, I'd rather not you follow me on this part of my life. Like, I want you to stay where I met you. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like I got beef with anybody. It's just like, I want them niggas to stay in 2016. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to come over here and hear all this secret shit that I'm talking. It's not even secret. It's just like, I said what the fuck I said. I don't want you to follow me over here. I felt so bad after I said that, but I was just like, because it made it sound like I have beef or like I got ops, and I really don't. Like, I promise you I don't. But still, I don't want to, I don't want to mix. I'm not trying to mix Zarias and shit. So anyway, does anybody else, this is something I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, and I've been trying not to, because maybe it's like, this is something that's like maybe a character flaw of mine that I just can't see as one, and I just think it's like a personality trait, and so I have to explain it as just that. Because maybe I don't recognize it as a character flaw, but y'all will tell me, I know. So does anybody else have a hard time sending condolences to people? And I'm laughing because I understand how fucked up it sounds, but please just stay with me. So it's always been hard for me. Y'all know I say it all the time that I don't like to be around like large emotional events or like settings. And ever since I was a kid, I just haven't been, I'm just not and not even like a wishy well type of person, because I do, but just like condolences, like if somebody was in the hospital or somebody like family member died or something like that, I just like, I don't know, y'all. I just don't know. I just can't do it. Even since I was a kid, and I specifically remember this story. This is back when I was still living with my birth mom, and for some reason she had took me to her friend's funeral with her. Neither one of my brother and sisters was there. It was just me and my mom, which was really fucking awkward. And her friend had kids that I obviously knew because, our moms were friends. And so I remember like walking up, and I was planning on staying with my mom the whole time. And then my mom goes and like tells me to go over to her friend's kids' table to like give them hugs and shit because they're sad. And I look over there, everybody's all crying and shit. And I'm like, bro, that entire sentence like damn near made me have a meltdown, because honestly, had she stopped at like hug, like just go give them a hug, I would have skipped over there handing out hugs and shit. But as soon as I heard the word sad, I immediately started thinking of like exit strategies. I was like, get me the fuck out of here. And I remember I started crying because I really did not want to walk my ass over there and do that. Plus I'm 7. I'm like 7, 8. And I look over there, they had hella adults, hella family members around them, hugging them, kissing them, saying prayers, offering help, like everything they needed at that moment. They were already getting it from people. So in my head, I was like, y'all hear kids screaming. It's because my nephew's out there fishing. My little cousins are out there fishing. I'm not strangling kids, I promise. But so anyway, when I see this, I see all this love and attention that they are getting, that they need from the proper people. In my head, I'm like, there's literally nothing I could offer by walking my 7-year-old ass over there, trying to offer some 7-year-old ass condolences, except like secondhand embarrassment and awkwardness. Like, I'm not doing this. So I kind of just like walked in the direction of them because I knew my mom was looking, and I like turned my head to check if she was still watching me, and she wasn't. Boy, I took off like a fucking ninja to that bathroom. I was like, I'm not going over there. I'm not doing that. And I ended up falling asleep on the toilet for a couple hours because it was a rookie move. If you're gonna dip off somewhere, make sure you have multiple stopping points. So I woke up to like my mom screaming my name and panic and shit, almost scared the shit out of me, literally. And so my immediate thought was just to act like I was sick. Like I started crying and everything. I don't know how. Honestly, y'all, I don't know how I'm not a terrible person, because my ability to lie when I was a kid was unmatched. Like I would say anything to not get my ass beat. Like I would lie so good on the spot, and it always worked. But, it worked. I went home, had a nice little bath, snacks, and anime for the rest of the day. We were chilling. It was cool. It worked. But, I be getting so off topic, y'all. But I say all that to say is that I don't know. It's something weird about offering condolences. Like, I'm sad for you, yes, but, like, what are my condolences going to do? Like, I don't know. I know it's a nice thing to say, but I don't know. And then the weirdest thing about that is I wouldn't say I've lost a friend, but I've had so many people mad at me because I didn't offer my condolences. And let me just say something about that. Let me just say one thing, right? I know I might be wrong, but let me just say something. In the middle of your grief, if you've lost someone, or if something bad has happened to you, like a disease or something really that you should really be sad about, if in the middle of that you are checking to see who and who's not, like, reaching out to you, helping you, wishing your condolences, I don't personally think that you're grieving hard enough. You know what I'm saying? Grief is such a, if we're really using the word grief is such a dark ass, scary ass, depressing, painful ass mental state to be in. And if while you're in that, you still have the capacity to squint one eye open and check to see if, this bitch not, it's good to see who my real friends are. I don't feel like you really grieving that hard, because, most people when they're in grief, I don't give a fuck who checking up on me or not. I'll send out a mass text or a mass phone call when I get through this shit. And I might send out a mass text to somebody who didn't even wish me well, but I don't have time to sort through all these messages because my fucking whatever to me just died, or I just lost this, or I just found out I had this. You know what I'm saying? So that's the part where it becomes a problem for me, because even though in retrospect, yes, I know, hey, you doing all right, or hey, sending my prayers to you and your loved ones from me would probably offer somebody some good. But let's be fucking honest, it really don't. You know what? It really don't. It really don't. It's not gonna matter more from, the people who you really need it from. And I'm not that to nobody. So I'm just like, let's not put the blame on me for not checking up on you when you should be sad right now. You know what I'm saying? Not that I want anybody to be sad. It's just, and y'all can tell I've been through this before. It's just like, what do you want me to do? Like, anybody who knows me know that I'm not that type of person. So to expect something out of me that you already know I don't do, then to get mad at me when I don't do it, is a little bit, I don't know what word to call that. It's just weird. It's weird. And like I said, y'all, I'm super aware that this might be a character flaw of mine, and I'm just not recognizing it as that yet. But I just, I feel like if something happened to somebody that was genuinely sad, I just feel like leaving them to be sad until they can get through it with their loved ones and family is the best way to do that, instead of being like, hey, I'm praying for you, I'm checking on you, you all right, you okay, what happened, talk to me. Like, I don't know, y'all, but y'all let me know if that makes sense. But all right, y'all, no am I the asshole for this episode, just because I kind of want to, when I do them, I want them to be juicy. I don't want them to be a back-to-back thing. But don't click off this episode, because I got like 10 more seconds worth of shit to say. If you're listening on YouTube, which if you are, that's great, because there are no visuals yet, so that's gang. Like, subscribe if this is your first episode that you've listened to. Follow me on YouTube, follow me on Instagram. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, if you don't have anything to say, to leave a review, rate it, give me 5 stars. If you want to leave a review, tell me what you liked about it, tell me what you didn't like about it. Let's get your girl up there. I'm not living like this no more. I don't want to work anymore. By the time I'm 30, I want to be, up there with Berlin and Corey. Do y'all hear my congested ass breathing? You know what? I'm getting off. I can't do this no more. Okay, guys, that's the end of the episode. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We are on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and your girl's on TikTok. Let's make this podcast the podcast. Okay, y'all? I want to hear you talk about it in the streets. 5 stars if you're feeling frisky, and 5 stars even if you're not. All the beautiful music in this episode is by the amazing Zoe Marie. Zoe's music can be found on all streaming platforms, so please go listen and love it just like I do. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.